Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We are welcome to yet another session of our Arabic grammar lessons. And inshallah, in this lesson, we are looking at a new topic, at-tamyizu. At-tamyiz, all these topics have been treated in the Al-Ajrumiyyah series. Though those lessons were done in audio, but it could be a good assistance. You could get the book that was treated there, the Sharh al-Ajrumiyyah lil Uthaymin. You could get the book and then use the audio to follow the lessons. Inshallah, it will be of very great help. So the topic at-tamyiz has been treated there. And if you have it from there and here, it will be a really good. Normally in Nahu, when you are doing Nahu, what is advisable is at every level, you take 3 books. So let's say at the beginner level, you do 3 books. You do like, let's say Sharh al-Ajrumiyyah, at-Tuhfatu Saniyah. That is one of the explanations of Ajrumiyyah. Then you do that of Ibn Uthaymin. That is also a very good explanation of it. And then also there is one other explanation, or better still, you do your An-Nahu al-Wadih to couple it. When you have these 3 books done at the beginner level, you would be quite fit enough to enter into the intermediate level. So we look at at-tamyiz today. At-tamyiz in everyday language means differentiation. Normally used to even mean racism. Okay, they say at-tamyiz al-unsuri. At-tamyiz al-unsuri. Differentiation. Racial differentiation. That is racism. So at-tamyiz in grammar means differentiation. What are we differentiating? You have a sentence and there is something vague in that sentence. What you need is a word to clarify this vagueness. Words that brings about vagueness in a sentence can range from weight. So when you say when you say something like I have a kilogram, somebody will want to ask a kilogram of what? Okay, a meter. When you mention a distance like that, somebody wants to know a distance of what? Is it a shirt, a rope, a what? Measurements, distance, spaces, all those words of measurements. When you bring them in a sentence, somebody wants to know what is being measured. Okay, and weight, kilogram, a gram, and all those words. Okay, so tamyiz in Arabic grammar is when these vague words are used in a sentence. We need the tamyiz to clarify it, which you will get to know right from the start of the examples. He says, Ishtaraitu retlan balhan. Right from the word go, we understand the whole thing from here. When he says retlan balhan, what does it mean? Retl is a pound, Pound. Okay, and the measurements of retl or retlun or ratulun, both pronunciations appear in the Arabic dictionaries if you check. So the retlun in Arabic lands, the measurements differ, but then basically we say that is a pound. Okay, some say that is 500 grams. Anyway, it comes. So he says, Ishtaraitu retlan, I bought a pound. A pound. So anyone there would want to ask a pound of what? A pound of fish, a pound of salt, a pound of sugar. So it is very vague because you are mentioning a weight or a measure. You are mentioning a weight. Somebody want to know weight. Who are you weighing here? It says balhan. Balhan is an unripe date. Unripe, man, a date fruit that is not fully ripe. Okay, I bought a pound of dates, or I bought a pound of unripe dates. So the balhan you bring clarifies the retl, clarifies the pound. So it differentiates what you want, what you intend. Ay maqsuduka, yumayyizu maqsuduka min ghayrihi. It differentiates what you intend from anything else apart from what you intend. And then it says, قلت الأرض إردبا قمحا. So we have قلت الأرض إردبا قمحا. قلت الأرض إردبا قمحا. We look at this one too. The irdab is a measure. Is a measure, and the irdab is equivalent in English will be 150 kilogram when you are measuring wheat. When you are measuring wheat, WHEAT. When you are measuring wheat, the irdab will be 150 kilograms. And when you are measuring barley, BARLEY, that is sha'ir. Sha'ir, when we are measuring sha'ir, it will be 120 kilograms. That is the measure of the irdab. So it says gallat al-ardu irdabban, and the verb galla, it means to boil up in anger. Okay, that meaning is there. But then when we say gallat al-ard, galla means to produce, to yield, YIELD, to yield. So it says gallat al-ardu irdabban, the earth or the land produced or yielded irdabban, let's say 150 kilograms, qamhan, of wheat. 150 kilograms of wheat. So the land produced 150 kilograms of wheat. Or let's say the sentence was gallat al-ardu irdabban, just that. Nothing will be understood. The earth produced 150 kilograms of what? We can't understand what the earth really produced. So when he adds the word qamhan, everything is differentiated. What he intends by the sentence is differentiated from anything else. So now we know what he means by the measure irdab. And then he says, Ba'ani attajiru dhira'an hariran. The trader sold to me. Ba'ani, the trader sold to me. Dhira'an, cubit. Cubit, I think. Cubit. So he sold to me a cubit. A cubit of what? It says hariran. So here the hariran becomes the tamyiz. Okay. He sold to me a cubit of harir. That is silk. SILK. It says fil haqli ishruna baqaratan. In the field there are 20 what? Baqaratan. So numbers also, when you bring them, we are looking at what is their tamyiz. What are you counting? We need to know. So it could be in the field there are 20 tractors, in the field there are 20 apples, in the field there are. So when you bring the word baqaratan, you differentiate what you intend from anything else. Fil haqli ishruna baqaratan. That is that. We come here again. طاب المكان هواء. طاب المكان means the place has become nice. This sentence, as you look at it, looks like it's very clear, but then when you leave it طاب المكان, it could mean that everything in the place is okay. Okay? It means that everything in the place is okay. But you want to clarify what you mean by the طاب. يعني ماذا طاب في المكان? What has become nice in the place? Then he says hawa'an, in terms of its air. So you come to a place, it's not like the place is nice or some beautiful resort, no. But then the air there, the air you find there is very nice. So you say طاب المكان hawa'an. The place has become nice in terms of its air. Then we have here فاض القلب. فاض بمعنى to overflow, to flood. The heart overflowed sururan, with happiness. The heart overflowed with happiness. So the sururan here is clarifying what of the heart overflowed. Not blood, but happiness. Al-'inabu min aladhi anwa'il fakihati ta'man. The grapes, al-'inab, grape, GRAPE, the grape is among the most sweetest types of fruits. Aladh, more sweeter. Aladh, that is the superlative form of ladhidun, sweet. Aladh, more sweeter. The grape is among the most sweetest types of fruit. In terms of what? Ta'man is taste. Okay, it could be a smell. Okay, somebody will like the smell of some particular fruit, but the taste of the fruit itself is not good for the person. So ta'man here bimana, the food itself is good. Okay, al-inabu min aladzi anwa'il fakihati, he wouldn't say ra'ihatan, but he says ta'man. In terms of its food, the taste of the food is good. So the ta'man here is the tamyiz. Al-Qahiratu aktharu min al-Iskandariya. Cairo, Al-Qahira is Cairo, Cairo, Egypt, the capital of Egypt. Al-Qahiratu aktharu min al-Iskandariyati. Cairo is more than Iskandariya. This sentence you really understand. More than it in terms of what? Is it in terms of cash, in terms of cars, in terms of what? Then it says Sukkanan. In terms of its Sukkan, yani its residents or inhabitants. So it's Cairo is more populated than Iskandariya. So the Sukkanan here comes to clarify what we intend by the whole sentence. Before we even get into the sharh, let me clarify something. When we look at this verse 4, you find that there is a word in there that actually requires the clarification, just a word. That is the ritlan, the weight, irdabban, this measure of produce, zira'an, a cubit, a measure, ishruna, a number. So there are singular words that requires clarification. These words are called the mumayyaz. They are the ones that require the at-tamyiz. They call for the tamyiz. So those words that require the tamyiz in these sentences are called mumayyaz. I bring the tamyiz to come and clarify a word. The word I'm clarifying is called al-mumayyaz. Al-mumayyaz. You see it in the sharh. The word that is doing the clarification, which is the last words here, are called the tamyiz, at-tamyiz. So we have al-mumayyaz and then we have at-tamyiz in these four sentences. And then you look here. You look at these four, you realize that there are no specific words that require clarification. It's just the whole sentence that is vague and requires clarification. So we say, Ta'ab al-makanu, the place is nice. We don't really know, is it the makan that requires a clarification or the ta'aba? Fad al-qalbu, the heart overflowed. The sururan, is it qualifying the al-qalb or the father? It's qualifying the whole sentences. So ta'ab al-makanu, fad al-qalbu, al-inabu min aladzi anwa'il fakihati, al-qahiratu akthar min al-iskandariyati. In all these, the whole sentence is what is vague. So it's not a specific word that requires clarification, but the whole sentence is what we are clarifying. So we have two types of mumayyaz. The tamyiz is one word, mansub, mufrad mansub. But the mumayyaz can come a clear noun like this, like ratlan, okay, like irdabban, like zira'an, and then like ishrun. The mumayyaz can come one word like this. When it comes like this, we call it malfuzun. Mumayyazun malfuzun. Mumayyaz that is mentioned, that is pronounced, that is found in the sentence. Okay. Then we come here. The mumayyaz is the whole sentence. It's not one word. We just understand the mumayyaz from the sentence. So what do we call this type of mumayyaz? We call it mumayyazun malhuzun. Malhuzun. Mumayyazun malhuzun. Okay. So we have the mumayyaz and tamyiz. The mumayyaz is in two types. We have mumayyazun malfuzun wa mumayyazun malhuzun, which the sharh is going to clarify for us. All this explained, we are going to read through quickly. It says, إذا قلت اشتريت رطلا أو اشتريت رطلا لم يفهم السامع ما تريده بالرطل أو بالرطل فهو لا يدري أبلحا اشتريت أم سمنا أم عسلا أم سكرا. He says that if you say اشتريت رطلا, the listener does not understand what you say, what you mean by اشتريت رطلا. Doesn't understand from what you mean by the pound. فهو لا يدري, because he doesn't know. Is it balh? Is it a dry date or unripe date, or samnan or oil, fat, or asalan, honey, 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 or sukkaran or sugar, or is it a pound of sugar? So the word, if you say ishtaraytu ratlan or ritlan, is vague. The person asks ritlan min maza. Okay. Says وذلك لأن الرطل, because the ritl Ismun mubham, that is what we've been saying all this while, is a vague noun. Is a vague noun. يصلح لأن تراد به هذه المعاني الكثيرة. It is right to be used for all these meanings. So the moment you say a pound, I can say a pound of fish, a pound of meat, a pound of sugar, a pound of oil, a pound of honey, a pound of everything goes in. You need to tell me a pound of what. It says ولكنك إذا قلت بلحا. But the moment you say balhan, you've clarified a pound of what that you bought. زال الإبهام. The ibham, the vagueness, goes away. وفهم السامع مرادك تمام الفهم. And the listener understands what you intend completely. لأنك ميزت له الرتل وبينت له المقصود منه. Because you've differentiated the riddle that you intend, and you've clarified to him what you intended by mentioning the riddle. ولذلك يسمى لفظ بلحا تمييزا. And so the word balh is called tamyiz because it comes to do the at-tamyiz. It comes to clarify. كما يسمى الاسم المبهم, as the noun that is vague is also called. It says كما يسمى الاسم المبهم وهو, and the noun that is vague, which is the riddle, and the riddle here is called the mumayyiz. It's called the mumayyiz, as I've already mentioned. It says وبذلك تستطيع أن تقول إن كل اسم من الأسماء الأخيرة في الأمثلة المتقدمة تمييز للمبهم قبله. And so you can say that all the ending words الأسماء الأخيرة, or the last words في الأمثلة المتقدمة in the previous examples, تمييز للمبهم قبله. It comes as تمييز for the vague noun before it. وإن ذلك المبهم هو المميز. And so that mubham, that vague noun, is the mumayyiz. The noun that is being clarified is the mumayyiz. It says وإذا بحثنا عن المميز في الأمثلة المتقدمة وجدناه في الأربعة الأولى مذكورا في اللفظ. It says if you search for the al-mumayyiz, you find it in the first 4 examples. مذكورا في اللفظ, it is mentioned. Okay, it is mentioned. فهو في المثال الأول رتلا, in the first example the مميز is the رتل. وهو من أسماء الوزن, and it is part of the nouns or names of weight. WEIGHT. وفي الثاني إردبا, in the second sentence the مميز is the إردبا. وهو من أسماء الكيل, and it is part of the nouns of measurement. وفي الثالث, and in the third, ذراعا. In the third sentence, the mumayyiz is the ذراعا. وهو من أسماء المساحة أو مساحة. It is part of the nouns of distance. وفي الرابع, and in the fourth sentence, the mumayyiz is what? إشرون, the number there. إشرون, that is the mumayyiz. وهو من أسماء العدد, and it is part of the nouns of العدد. أما في الأمثلة الأربعة الأخيرة فإنا لا نجد للمميز ذكرا. As for the last 4, as I explained, we do not find a mention for the mumayyiz. The mumayyiz is not mentioned as a single word. في مثال منها, in any of its examples, the last 4, the mumayyiz is not mentioned. ولكن السامع يلحظه, but then the listener kind of appreciates it, perceives it from the sentence. So when I say طاب المكان, and you say طاب المكان هواء, I kind of perceive that you are clarifying the place and how nice it has become in terms of a particular thing. So the mumayyiz is understood or perceived from the construction of the sentence, but it's not one word. ويفهمه حين يسمع الجمل, and the listener understands it when he hears the sentence. It says فإذا سمع جملة, if he hears the sentence فإذا سمع جملة طاب المكان, if he hears the sentence طاب المكان, مثلا, for example, لاحظ أن الذي طاب هو شيء من الأشياء المنصوبة للمكان. The person kind of appreciates that the thing that has become nice about the place is something that is related to the place. It's not the whole place, but something related to the place. ولكنه لا يدري ما هو ذلك الشيء. So when you tell me طاب المكان, I know that the place has become nice, but it is something that has become nice about the place and made the place nice. Okay, but I do not know what specifically. أي لا يدري ما هو ذلك الشيء بالتحديد. The person doesn't know what it is actually. أهو ماؤه, is it the water of the place? أم تربته, or the sand of the place? Sand, S-A-N-D. أم هواؤه, or is air? فإذا ذكرت له التمييز, the moment you mention the تمييز, طاب المكان هواء, تعين المراد, what you intend becomes specific. فالمميز هنا ملحوظ ومفهوم من الجملة. The مميز in this case is ملحوظ, is appreciated, ومفهوم and understood من الجملة, from the sentence. So ملحوظ, it is perceived, ومفهوم and understood من الجملة, from the sentence. وإن كان غير مذكور في اللفظ, وإن كان غير مذكور في اللفظ, even though it is not mentioned in terms of the wordings. وكذلك يقال في الأمثلة الباقية, such is said for the rest of the examples. نقرأ القواعد سريعا. القواعد: التمييز اسم يذكر لبيان المراد من اسم سابق يصلح لأن تراد به أشياء كثيرة. أشياء ممنوع من الصرف, as we already know. He says التمييز, the word التمييز is اسم يذكر, is a noun. So you know that it's not a verb, it's not an article. تمييز is a noun. يذكر لبيان المراد, it is mentioned to clarify the intended, what is intended. من اسم سابق, what is intended from a noun that has been mentioned previously. يصلح لأن تراد به أشياء كثيرة, أي يصلح هذا الاسم السابق لأن تراد به, أي بالاسم السابق, أشياء كثيرة. This اسم سابق is good to be intended for a lot of things. So it is first of all a noun, and it is mentioned after a noun that is vague. Vague noun bimana, it is good for anything. So when I say a meter, it can be a meter of wire, a meter of rope, a meter of a material, a meter. So you mention a noun that is vague, you need to mention this tamyiz after it to clarify it, just like we've seen in the examples. And then he says that al-mumayyazu kismani, the mumayyaz is in two types. Mumayyaz, as I've explained, is the vague noun. That is the ism sabiq, and when you look at it, that will be this particular ism here. This ism sabiq is the mumayyaz. So it says al-mumayyazu kismani malfuzun wa malhuzun. One is pronounced in the sentence. You can see that this is the vague noun that requires clarification, and the other is malhuzun. Malhuzun bimana, it is appreciated from the sentence, it is perceived from the sentence. It is not just a word that you can say this is the mumayyaz, you just appreciate it from the sentence. It says فالأول أي التمييز الملفوظ ما يلفظ به, that which is pronounced, في الجملة, in the sentence, كأسماء الوزن, like the nouns for weight, والقيل, and measure, والمساحة, and distance, والعدد, and numbers. So number, weight, kilograms, الكيل, a cup of, a pan of, those are kale, والمساحة, a meter of those measurements for distance, they are mentioned in the sentence. So you mention what you intend from these measurements after it. It says والثاني أي المميز الملفوظ ما يفهم من الجملة من غير أن يذكر فيها, that which is, when we say المميز الملفوظ, that which is not mentioned in the sentence but it is understood. I understand that this is what you are clarifying in the sentence, but it's not mentioned in the sentence. So this brings us to the end of the التمييز. Inshallah, in our last lesson, we look at حكم التمييز. You know how we do it. We look at the topic, then we look at its i'rab, how it goes, the حكم, how the rulings goes. Inshallah. So we meet next on حكم التمييز. That is حكم تمييز الوزن والكيل والمساحة inshallah. So till we meet again, have a very good Arabic time. As usual, don't forget to share for others to also benefit. If you've not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And also, don't forget to revise. Don't forget your vocabularies, your expressions, and don't forget to practice, inshallah. Till we meet again, have a very good Arabic time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.